This is the last video you'll ever need to watch on how to quit sugar and how to quit sugar for good. I'm going to give you the natural approach that works every time. Hey Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski, and sugar is a massive problem in today's world. The average person's consuming over 125 pounds of sugar, and the worst part is it leads to these diseases right here. Type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, your teeth rotting out of your head with cavities, kidney disease, and also cognitive decline. It can even lead to Alzheimer's and dementia-like symptoms. The fact is that eating too much sugar actually goes even further beyond this. We could talk inflammation, cancer, and a lot more disease. But this is the thing that you need to understand, is that it is imperative that you actually cut sugar out of your diet and move to a good, healthy, sustainable diet that's going to keep you healthy for a lifetime. So let's go ahead and talk about why you get addicted to sugar and what steps you can take today in order to get off of sugar. Now, here's the thing about sugar, is that it actually plays some funny tricks on your brain that maybe you're not aware of. Here's what happens. When you consume sugar, it actually gives you a huge boost in these neurotransmitters in your brain called dopamine and serotonin. These neurotransmitters, they make you feel really good. They make you feel happy. And then every time you feel good and happy, you know what you think to yourself? I want more of that. So what do? You consume more sugar. You get that spike again. You know what the worst part is? In order to get that same feeling of happiness every time, you need a higher dose of sugar. More sugar to get it. More sugar and more sugar. So your dose keeps going up and up and up. And then eventually you're finding yourself over here with destroyed health. So what we have to do is we have to get off the sugar. The first thing that's really important to do is identify the sugar on the label. And you have to understand that it's pretty obvious that a lot of sugar is going to be in very processed packaged foods, right? You're not going to get your sugar from, I went over to the vegetable section, right? You're getting your sugar from the cookies and the different packaged items. And you know what? Unfortunately, even some things that would appear to be very healthy, like a can of tomatoes, for instance, well, that also a lot of times has sugar in it. So when you're reading these labels, which is very important because some of these different products can have over 5-10 different forms of sugar all in one product. Here's the thing, is that sugar comes in over 100 different names. So when you're reading these labels, sometimes it actually is showing up as sugar, very obvious, but a lot of times it's going to be some word you don't understand that ends in ose. So if it says ose, that's sugar. Now, here's something that we have to go above and beyond when we talk about the cravings of sugar and how to overcome the sugar addiction that you might have. And one of the things you want to do is you want to make sure that you're getting adequate macronutrients. And this is referring to proteins and fats and carbohydrates, but specifically we're going to focus on proteins because this makes a big difference. You know, I've done a lot of patient care, and one of the things that I see all the time is that the people who are struggling with eating sugar and carbohydrates and having a lot of craving issues are people who are wildly under eating, you guessed it, protein, okay? So make sure you're getting adequate protein. If you're getting plenty of protein, you're gonna find that it crushes a lot of your cravings. How do you get enough? Well, here's what you wanna do. This is the equation. It's going to be 0.8 times your ideal body weight, okay? Now, ideal body weight means that if you're 160 pounds, but ideal body weight for you is 140 pounds, then you're going to go 0.8 times 140, for instance, okay? You don't want to times this by the weight that you're currently at, but the weight that you want to be. And that's how much protein in grams you should be eating every single day. Now, let's talk about lateral shifts, okay? Because now that you got this protein thing straightened out and you understand that the sugar is going to manipulate you and that the stores and these different food companies are going to try to trick you with all these different names of sugar, what you have to understand is that going sugar-free can be very difficult. You know, unfortunately, we're very emotional creatures as humans, and we have emotional connections to food. So a lot of times it's like, hey, you know what? I like having that soda and it reminds me of when I was a kid, or I like having that ice cream. The fact is that we're very much emotionally attached to food, and this is why so many people struggle to go and get off of these things or not eat them. That even goes beyond nutritional deficit and your brain playing tricks on you. So here's the thing, is we want to make lateral shifts. If you like having soda, well, here's the thing. Don't go and consume the one that has 40 grams of sugar in it. Get the one that's sweetened with stevia, or maybe even the one that has 2 grams of sugar in it. And if you like having ice cream, get one that is not full of sugar, one that's sweetened with an allulose, right? There's so many options out there anymore. It's really interesting whether it's cake, cookies, whatever it is, you can find ones that are sweetened with a sweetener that's not going to raise your blood sugar. So here's some of the natural sweeteners that you can move towards. These are ones that do not raise your blood sugar, but yet taste sweet. So you're really filling that craving in your body and fulfilling that mental need. However, you're not raising your blood sugar. Stevia, monk fruit, and allulose. These are going to be the top go-tos. My favorite is allulose, and one of the things that's so interesting about allulose is that there's studies out there that when you consume allulose, it shows that it'll actually drop your blood sugar. Pretty wild. Now, why do I have berries here? This is something that, look, if you're craving sugar, having something like berries is a pretty reasonable option to go towards, right? You're fulfilling that want of something sweet, but yet you're doing it in a way that you're eating something that has antioxidants, micronutrients, and it's low glycemic. So it's a really reasonable option. So whenever you go to quit sugar, you want to make sure that you're making those lateral shifts. You find the healthier options of the things you love. If you love chocolate, well, don't eat this Hershey's over here that has, 10 grams of sugar. Eat the stevia sweetened one that's much healthier. And then also always be reasonable. Have more healthy foods in your diet like berries, which are low glycemic, that also help you meet that craving. I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and share it with a friend who needs this. There's so many people who will be in this category because they don't understand this concept. They need you to share this with them. If you love this video, I think you'll like this one next.